So now let's kind of move a little further ahead into some very core components of this program. How do you create world-class content? Everything we're teaching about, everything in product success, in creating products, and in marketing products comes down to one thing: your content. Everything. What is it you're going to teach? How is it you're going to teach it so it's high value and it creates good products and programs? Because look, good products and programs will make you stand above everybody else. It will perpetuate your brand in the marketplace. You've got to learn great content. So I'm going to teach you 4 big ideas here about content. And again, we'll go into specifics in content. Before I go into all this, a couple frequently asked questions. The first one is, well, Brendan, I don't know what I want to teach yet. Cool. Trust me, when I give you the outline for what to teach, you'll know what to teach. Second, if you're like totally new to content creation, this will be like a master's degree for you. Get through this program. Even if at some point you're like, I only want to create one of these products, or I don't know if I'm ready to create one of these products, or you're a hedger, you're a person who's going to wait for a long time to do this. Let me tell you something. This course will be a world-class instructional design course for you. This will teach you more about creating world-class content than ever. It will teach you, for the rest of your life, this program will be the most valuable program you've ever got in how to teach people stuff. How valuable is that? Even if you never create any products or programs, which I would cry about, but if you never, ever create any products and programs, the value you will receive in this program, in learning how to teach well, will be worth its weight in gold for you for the rest of your life. That's one more reason to stick with this. But you're going to stick with this. So as you're creating content, what do you need to know to create world-class content? 1, you must know first and foremost your role as a creator and an educator. Look, you have to understand when you're creating these things that you serve a very specific purpose for your audience. I don't care if you're creating an ebook for them, doing a teleseminar with them, doing a video with them, doing a webinar with them. You got to know your role first. And your role in this expert industry, because now you're an expert, you're putting your advice and your life story, your experience, your wisdom out into the world. Man, you got to know your role. And your role is 2 things. Your job is to inspire and instruct other people to improve their lives or achieve a specific end. I shouldn't say or, and. Your job is to, 1, inspire other people to improve their lives or achieve a specific outcome, okay? It's also to instruct them. Why do I emphasize that? Because all your content is going to revolve around that. If your content doesn't inspire them to be better people, you'll never become, quote unquote, a guru. It's not just about teaching them ABC. Look, they could go buy if they want to do that, they could buy a DVD manual, right? These horrible instructions like do A, B, C, and D. People aren't hiring you just for tactic. They're hiring you for transcendence, for transformation. And you've got to understand that you've got to build your content in a way that will inspire people. I am going to ask you to level up and become an inspiration in the world. 1, that should excite you. And 2, that's your calling anyway. That's what you're supposed to be doing, is inspiring other people to be happy, to achieve things they want to achieve, to help them. That's why you came to this program. I'm going to ask you to reignite the inspiration ability you have in your life. I'm going to ask you to really step up and be more inspiring for other people. Doesn't mean you have to be charismatic and a clown like me, right? Everybody has their own way of inspiring other people. You just need to create your content and your products and programs and say, will this inspire them or not? And the second role there is to instruct, to teach a tangible outcome to all of your audience members so that they know how to do something or be something more than when they began. We're going to make you a world-class instructor. So you got to know your role, to inspire and to instruct other people to achieve their dreams, to live a better life. That's important, right? The second thing is make sure that you know your audience. Who is it you want to serve is a very important question, isn't it? Right? You've got to think about, okay, my audience, okay, gosh, I want to serve entrepreneurs, or I want to teach moms, or I want to teach kids, or I want to teach executives, or I want to teach this segment of the population. And don't worry, it's not that you need to know, the myth in this industry is you've got to narrow a niche. Your audience has to be, 29-year-old females who are going back to college, who don't like guys like this and wear cologne like that. No, I guess women don't wear cologne, they wear perfume. But anyway, you get the point? That idea that you have to be so niche, it's a mistake and a myth in the way people have taught you. You don't need your niche to be super focused in terms of who you are going to serve. See, marketers have done such a great disservice to you and to this world by saying, you must have the super narrow niche. No, you don't need the super narrow niche in terms of creating your products and programs. You can serve a lot of people with your products and programs. I think my Life's Golden Ticket book or my Millionaire Messenger book can serve anybody in the world, period. You need a niche when it comes to marketing to them because you can't reach everybody in the world. So you'll need a niche when you go to market to them, which we'll talk about later on. When I say know your audience at this level right here, what I mean is you've got to know the general hopes, dreams, aspirations, frustrations, and desires of your audience. And guess what? They're probably the same hopes, dreams, aspirations, frustrations, and aspirations that you have. One of the greatest parts about what we do is we just get to teach as experts that which we've already learned or wanted to know. Look, I'm just teaching you all this. This is what I've learned, but this is also what I wanted to know. Most of the time, if you're good at this, you already know your audience in general because you're part of humanity, right? But I do want you to get focused on learning more about your customer, narrowing down who it is you want to serve, and thinking about, well, what is it that frustrates them? What's it that gets them going? I want you to start thinking about that. We'll get into some tactical things you can do as we go throughout. But you got to know your audience. Why am I going off on this? You might be at this point like, gosh, he's really staying general right now. Because all these things I've taught you so far are going to be critical as we go through this course. If you don't know your role and you ever forget that, then you're going to forget to put inspiration in your products and programs and you're going to get higher returns. Oops. If you don't know your audience, who are you creating it for? Right? Okay, next, create for outcomes. All of your training material, all of the products and programs I'm going to teach you to create in this course presupposes you're creating for outcomes, meaning what are the things you want your audience to achieve, right? If you're an online marketer and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to create a course for other online marketers, what do I teach? You got to teach for outcomes. You got to go, okay, well, what does the customer want to achieve? Well, they want to know how to put up an opt-in page. Great. Then create your training that teaches how to create an opt-in page. Meaning, I want you to think about your content and all the content we'll be developing for your products and programs in a way that helps your customer achieve something specific or be something specific if you're in the spirituality or personal growth world and you're not in the general wealth or achievement world. What is it you want them to achieve and build towards that? If they go through your program and they're just inspired, but they don't know how to do anything new, they will leave you. You follow? That's why I'm so focused. This entire course is built for you to create new outcomes in your life around these products and programs. Next, all of your training in world-class content is going to revolve around you teaching and talking about these things. These are going to be like the basic core elements of all your content ever from now on for the rest of your life. If any of these are missing, then you're in trouble. If they're always there, congruent throughout all of the stuff that you teach, you will succeed. Big promise, huh? You might want to take notes. The first thing, the core elements of all your content, is your content is always going to be rooted in the problem, right? In all of your teaching, you always must first start, or at least address throughout, the problem. You always must be focused on what is the problem and how I'm going to make them move through it, right? All great marketing starts with the problem. Because look, the whole focus, the reasons people buy stuff from you is to resolve a problem in their life. The outcome they want, the outcome your audience wants, is to overcome this problem. So you're going to have to really get in the hearts and minds of your audience and understand what is the problems they're facing. The second thing that your stuff is going to be focused on is always the possibility. If you send me a product or program and you don't paint the picture of the bigger vision, the grander direction, the better possibility in the future, then we're not doing a good job, right? All great marketing talks about the problem, then they talk about the dream, the vision, what can be better. All of our content will revolve around these pieces. And don't worry again, I don't want you to get overwhelmed at this point because I'm going to assemble all the pieces as we go throughout this. But I want you to understand we're always going to be rooted in these things. Problem and possibility. We'll also always have as a core element to what we're doing, perspective. And here's what I mean by perspective. People pay you for your perspective. Perspective in this sense means we're going to say, okay, this is a big problem. Here's the possibilities. Your life will improve these ways. My perspective is after I've gone through all this or I've studied all this is that you're going to have to focus and concentrate on this thing. In other words, you're going to give them clarity and tell them what to focus on. All great content does that. It says, focus here. Does that make sense? You really want to serve them by giving them true perspective. The other thing that you're going to do is in all your content, I'm always going to have you share your personal story. We're going to make you alive. We're going to make you real, right? We're going to make you a human element with them. Even if you're thinking, well, I don't want it to be about me, Brendan. No, we're going to make it about you. We're going to make your products and your programs center on your brand and your personality, no matter who you are. Even if you work for someone else, anytime someone hears your voice, they need to know a little about you. So we're going to really revolve all of our training around your personal story. Now, don't worry, we don't always have to explain your grand story about, oh my God, I was born over here, and then this happened to me, and then he did that. Don't sweat that. We're going to get to the level of just, I'm going to teach you to share tidbits of your personal story to make your content relevant and real. Look, if you've ever created any product or programs and your personal story isn't woven throughout, guess what? It's not believable. People don't believe the message unless they believe the messenger. Never forget that. People don't believe the message. You can teach your face off, but if they don't know anything about you and don't believe you, they won't buy into what you're teaching. So we're going to get you to a whole new level of sharing and honestly, vulnerability in teaching so that people really connect with you. The reason I know that people connect with me is because they connect with my personal story, the tidbits of my own psychology and beliefs that I share throughout my stuff, and the stories that I usually tell. Now, because this is more tactical training, I won't be going on and on like I usually do in my motivational stuff, but you get the idea. You'll be sharing your personal story. Another core element you're going to be talking about is huge, huge, huge. The plan. People are paying you for all of this, especially this. This is huge, very, very important. The plan, your plan that helps them accomplish these things, right? All that I'm going to teach you is about sequencing your content to help them achieve more or do more and specific things. You've got to start creating and thinking of your content as, what is the plan I'm going to give them? Not to be a generalist. Look, generalists don't get paid like highly paid experts. Highly paid experts teach you how to do a specific thing. Move from point A to point B. Vroom. That's what we got to teach you to do. We got to teach you how to teach in a new way that generates a plan for them. If any of these elements are missing, your content is not world class. The last element that's really important, positivity. I cannot tell you how important this is in the world right now. You see it already. The world's in trouble. And the world is going to follow someone. The world is going to follow leaders. The world is going to follow you. I don't care if you're teaching moms how to be better moms, or you're teaching basket weavers how to do better basket weaving, or you're teaching people how to do online marketing, or you're teaching people how to generate wealth, or generate better relationships, or generate more energy and health in their lives. No matter your topic, if you can't convey that content with optimism and hope and energy behind it, I don't care if it's on video or in written form or audio or they're watching a webinar, then that content is not world class. Look, the distinguishing feature of my career, I really believe, is my energy and enthusiasm. And believe me, it's not always there. Right now, I'm tired. I'd love to grab over here, pick up this water. Actually, I'd probably pick up a beer right now. That's how I'm feeling. I'm totally teasing. I love it. Grab this water, pick this up, take the day off. I'd rather just not be so energetic with you. My vocal cords would rather just be like, so here's how we're going to do this. It'd be so much easier to go through with no energy. But by putting energy into it, your content resonates better. It becomes world class if they take it into their bodies. Really important, right? You've got to get to a whole other level of positivity in your content. You've got to start inserting words and phrases that make them believe in themselves, that help them overcome their barriers, that help them just believe in the process again. And that's why I've said in this, don't be overwhelmed. You can do this. This is something anyone can do. I've got to do it with energy and excitement. And most people don't have this. Let me tell you what, the reason you are not being paid enough in life right now has almost everything to do with how much of this you are exuding to the world. Big statement. Trust it's true. Last piece. Your content to become world class has to be organized by frameworks. By frameworks. You have to make it chunkable for them. You have to make it logical for them. When you put that plan out there, it needs to be sequential, right? World-class content is always sequential. It moves people from point A to point B. It's chunked down too, right? My secret sauce in all of my training products and programs, outside of this one I'm kind of walking through a general overview, but when I'm teaching something very specific, it's always, I break it down to chunkable pieces that they can know. Just like right now, we're going through a big overview of this course, but right now I'm in the content section. Well, frameworks are what you need to create. You remember that first thing we talked about in this video, which was how to succeed? Clarity, competence, confidence, coaching, commitment. That was a framework, an organizing way to think about things. I'm going to teach you to create very, very, very effective frameworks. They're very simple. This isn't some freaky weird thing, but this will make you a better instructional designer, and it will make you a better trainer, which is our goal. And here's the gist of all of this in terms of creating and doing frameworks, okay? Our job is to take your guy, your customer, right, this person here, and our job is to move them all the way over to here where they have this big smile on their face. Makes sense, right? So we've got to get them from point A, to point B. A framework helps break that movement down into understandable elements. So let me give you an example. To get from point A to point B in anything, you got to think about your customer and know where they're at, and you got to know where they're going. What are, again, those outcomes they're trying to achieve? And you want to help them get the outcomes throughout. There's one big outcome they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to be an online marketer, or they're trying to get their message out into the world, create products and programs. But there's outcomes along the way too. Here's what a framework does. A framework basically says, okay, to get all the way over there, you basically, you're going to have to do these, 4 things to get there. In order to get there, you're going to have to do these 4 big picture things to get there. To get from point A to get to point B, you're going to have to do these big picture things. That's what a framework is. It's an organizing process to get here. Okay? Now, these big things within it, these big things in here, these can be your big ideas or directives. Let me share a secret here. There are ideas or directives. Okay? I call them IDs. Right? Ideas and directives. Okay? These organizing pieces, this makes your content real and understandable for people. So here's what I mean by this. Each of these, so let's say, as an example, with Experts Academy, with one of my biggest programs that we have right now, we're teaching people to become highly paid experts in multiple different areas. Authors, speakers, coaches, seminar leaders, online marketers, right? So the big idea is how to be a speaker, and I could break that down. How to be a seminar leader, how to break that down. How to be a coach, break that down. How to be an online marketer, break that down, right? Or I can teach you even a bigger picture. Okay, to be all of those things, you'd have to do these things. So as an example, in Experts Academy, my framework to get them to be a highly paid expert, I say, we've got to teach you how to position yourself as an expert, find your topic of expertise, get results, show your credibility. We've got to teach you how to package your ideas into products, programs, and services that can serve the world as an author, speaker, coach, seminar leader, online marketer. We've got to teach you how to do promotions, how to promote yourself, your brand, your products at a higher strategic level. And we've got to teach you how to get partners. Right? Position, package, promote, partners. Then my job, once I have that, is to break each of these down. This is how you build the training course, right? So once you have your big idea or directive, then you break it down. And the way that you break it down is you break it down by creating main points and illustrating those main points with examples, which basically is really all about you have a main point underneath the big thing they have to do. So if they're going to position, main point, find your topic. Then I got to tell them how to find their topic. And here's the great thing. All frameworks are easy. You have your big idea or your directive, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Then you got your main points, and then underneath each, you just tell a story, and you teach strategies on how to do stuff. That's it. That's frameworks. Now, direct idea, you can have a big idea. So for example, let's say we are talking about how to become a better leader, right? Our outcome is to make them a better leader in the world, okay? A better leader in the world. Well, the big idea, there could be all sorts of different ideas to make them a better leader, right? One big idea is to, we could just call vision, right? So this segment of our training course is called visioning, right? How to create a vision and everything else like that. And within vision, we can talk about going out and listening to the audience, right? Going out and looking into how the world is, how would the world want to be, how do you come up with the vision, and we really just start breaking all down, and we tell stories and strategies along the way, right? A directive is different than an idea. An idea would just be, ideas would be like vision, teamwork, right? Communication and persuasion, collaboration. Those are big ideas that will make them better. Like if we're doing health, a big idea in health would be eat, sleep, exercise, right? These are big pictures, big picture ideas. A directive is different. A directive tells them to do something. Tells them to do something. In other words, it's an action statement. It has verbs in it. So for leadership, instead of saying visioning, a directive would say create your vision. Step one, right? A directive would be, instead of saying teamwork, a directive would say assemble your team. You follow? Right? Instead of saying, diet, or if we're doing the health thing, instead of saying nutrition is an idea, and we can bust that down in a million ways. That's an idea. And by the way, a framework can, again, be organized by ideas. But a directive would say, eat more vegetables. Then it would teach you why vegetables are important, tell you stories and strategies to incorporating more vegetables into your diet. You follow? Guess which one is more valuable? Well, let's look at one of the most successful and enduring frameworks of all time in the author-expert space. And that framework was created by Stephen Covey. And he wrote a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's his outcome was to make people more effective. And he had to go, well, how do I do that? Well, he could teach all sorts of big ideas. He could teach like time management, how to do time management, right? That would be an idea, time management. That could be a chapter, right? Instead, what he said, I'm going to make a directive base. I'm going to tell him the 7 habits. But he didn't just teach the habit, right? The habit wasn't like, be successful. Instead, what he did is he was directive about it. Habit number 1, which was a directive, begin with the end in mind. You follow? Another directive was seek first to understand, then be understood. Oh, okay. He was using directives, and that would be his chapter titles. Seek first to be understood, or sorry, Seek first to understand, then be understood. That was a directive. That was one whole chapter. And they just broke it down with stories about why it's important and strategies on how to accomplish it. Follow? That's the idea of an organizing framework. So what I want you to do as part of homework, and I'll be giving you homework in each video, I want you to start thinking about what are the outcomes? What's the big picture you're trying to take people to? And in order to achieve that, what would be the 4 to 7 things they would have to do to get there? Okay? 4 to 7 big picture things. And start breaking it down as directives. Directives are generally more valuable than ideas unless your realm that you want to play in is philosophy and spirituality. Then just big ideas there are great. But even look at just like, look at a great book like Four Agreements by, I forgot Miguel's last name. Or is it, I just forgot the author. But his thing, see, this is live, ladies and gentlemen. This is all, by the way, one take so far. I have no notes other than what's on this page. I'm not using a teleprompter. I just decided, and I'll teach you how to do great video later on. I decided to talk like a person, like I would talk at a barbecue or when I'm on stage. I don't have the opportunity to pause and edit. The only reason most people need a lot of editing in their videos is because their mind says, I'm safe to edit. I got a second chance. I go, I don't have a second chance. I can't be at a barbecue and tell my friend something like, hold on, man, you know what I just said? Can we go back? That last 5 minutes sucked. No, you just talk to people. Pretend the camera is your friend and just talk to your friend. So I'm talking to my friends. So anyway, I don't know where I just went on that. But the point was, let's say the book I was talking about was The Four Agreements, one of my favorite books. Also a really, really great book. And the Four Agreements, his 4 agreements could be big ideas, but instead he made them directives. The first one, as an example, is don't take things personally, right? Don't take things personally is all about, that is a directive, right? The idea there, the idea could have been just called self-esteem. Instead of, no, I don't want to just self-esteem. Boom, gave a directive. Give directives. These can be practices on what to do. They can be habits. They can be anything. They can be calls to action. But organize your framework on a sequential series of actions that lead them here. Sequential directives. That's what a framework is. That makes your content more valuable. I know I went on and on about that. I hope that serves you. Don't worry if you're overwhelmed right now again, because I'll be teaching you how to create these for each product or program. But I want you to understand the concept of a framework, otherwise you can't create world-class stuff. Okay, I know, here we go. Next, world-class marketing. Now I'm going to be teaching you so much about marketing in this program that literally, if you stay with me, I guarantee this. If you stay with me, by the end of the course, you will be in the top 5% of marketers in the world just by going through this program. Because, I mean, just that $10,000 marketing strategy session you already have, most retailers don't know that stuff. I mean, you're going to be really elevated. Let me go through this fairly quickly because we're going to cover a lot of this as we go through. But to create world-class marketing, you need a couple ideas in mind. First, you need to understand that all of your marketing needs to be set up as a campaign. The most important word in all of marketing is a campaign. A campaign is a strategic sequence of promotions that lead to a desired result. Meaning, instead of what people used to do is a campaign, they would just send out one thing that said, buy my stuff, right? That was the old world of campaign, of marketing. They'd send you a web page and they say, buy the stuff. Today, that doesn't work. Today, what works is sending out a series of value-added information that leads now to the sale. This creates relationship and rapport. The entire idea of all of your marketing, everything I'm going to teach, whether you like it or not, everything I'm going to teach you in Total Product Blueprint is about a campaign where you build the relationship first, then you sell. Everything will be set up so that you're getting the opt-in, you're adding value to them. So let me say that again. You're generating the opt-in. In other words, you're capturing their name in the email so that you can keep in contact with them to establish a real relationship with them, and then you can sell. All of my $1 million plus products and programs online in the world are set up this way. They're all just a simple campaign. That's it. It's an opt-in page. It's delivering some value to them over a series of days. Then it's asking them to buy something. That's it. Can you do that? I think you can. Next, all marketing, world-class marketing, is driven by this big word, value. That's what the V stands for, value. Look, if your marketing by itself doesn't inspire or instruct people to live a better life and accomplish a certain outcome, then you're not creating a real relationship with them. I want to change your whole idea about marketing. Everything you send out from now on, here's the deal. Everything. What? Everything that you send out from now on, I want you to say, that marketing piece, I could have charged money for that. That is going to make you a world-class marketer. Every single thing that I send out, I go, I could have charged money for that. I could have charged $97 to download that video. It was so good, right? Every single marketing piece you ever send out ever again, I want you to go, I could have charged money for that. If you don't get to that level, then you know what? What kind of value are you adding to people? Then you're just a huckster, you're a salesman. I don't want you to be a salesperson. I want you to be an inspirer and an instructor of people, right? That's your job as an expert. Everything you create is value. So I know what you think that's going to teach you as we go throughout this program to create greater value for people. Okay, finally, all world-class marketing is always these things. First and foremost, it's emotional. It's emotional. World-class marketing always generates emotion in you. Some emotion. I don't care if it's surprise or enthusiasm, which, by the way, are very powerful. Surprise and enthusiasm or commitment, very powerful emotional drivers. But we've got to teach you to be more emotional in the languaging that you're using in your products and programs and in all of your marketing, right? People in the world right now are dead. I don't know what's going on. They're all like, why? Because they're so stuck in themselves. We need you to be more emotive in your writing, in your teleseminars. When I'm speaking in these videos, it's like I'm practically singing at you. Why? Because that works. It gets you the big following. It gets you the results. It gets your students inspired. We've got to get your marketing to a new level of emotion. And if you're a person like, you don't understand, Brendan, when I was 9, and this happened to me, and I've been closed off ever since, then start working on yourself, because you know what? Life deserves to taste better. And it's your own damn fault if you don't feel like your emotions are engaged in your life. Enough said. You can be an inspirer of people again. To do that, you're going to have to change your languaging. You're going to have to change the way that you speak to people. Look, you've got to start thinking of yourself on the world stage every day. With your friends and your family, you've got to go, you know what? I've got to be more emotive with them to make it safe for them to be emotional too. And the more the world is more emotional, the better it will serve. Sorry guys who still live in a cave. Trust me, where I grew up in Montana, being emotional, everyone moving around like this, talking like this, everyone thought I was gay. Where I grew up, they're like, are you gay or something? Why are you moving your hands when you talk? Because I grew up in an Irish mining town. Then I moved to a place and I had neighbors who were Italian. And they're all talking with this and I'm like, man, I like these people, they're alive, right? I'm joking about this. Of course, I'm generalizing. I'm just saying, be emotional. It will really serve you. Next, memorable. Your marketing has to be something like, have you seen that? That thing was amazing. You want them to go back to it again. You want them to tell their friends about it, right? If they won't remember it to tell their friends about it, you got to go, was that good? And remember, don't worry if you know how to do this or not. I'm just teaching you the framework for creating world-class marketing. This is the framework here. I'm going to teach you tactically how to create all of this in your marketing for each of these products and programs. How stoked are you for that? Next, we got to make sure that it's actionable. It doesn't provide value to them unless every single one of these pieces tells them to go do something or teaches them how to do something, and it leaves it to them to do it or not. Actionable, huge. I have taken a guy who is already earning, I think his revenue every year was about $1.5 million, and was able to work with him literally over a period of 3 days with his marketing. And I said, just, you know what, on your marketing, just make it more actionable. They will remember you if you make them do something. You want to be memorable? Make it actionable. And they're like, oh yeah. So by making them do something in your marketing, then it becomes more memorable. Pretty cool, huh? It's why, by the way, in my Total Product Blueprint series, in my first video, I said, I have a $1,200 contest if you go out and you create this thing. Even if they never actually took the action and created it, they remembered that video because they're like, dang, man, that guy's giving me $1,200 for this thing. because I tied it to an action. Next, transcendent. Your marketing must help them transcend their current experience in a way that changes their emotional states, right? Emotional. But it's got to be transcendent. You've got to teach them by learning what you have. And again, I'm orienting this to all the fact that you are an expert teaching products and programs that can inspire people or instruct them to improve their lives or achieve a desired outcome. As part of that, you've got to help them understand that by doing what you teach, by following you, they're going to be able to transcend their current environment, whether their economic environment or their life environment. We've got to get you to inspire people so they feel like they can transcend their current context. Then, we've got to make sure that your marketing is social. And I don't mean that like Twitterizable, right? I don't mean that social as Facebook, though those elements will be important. When you do your marketing, we want you to emphasize the social aspect of how they will be better equipped to navigate the world socially and contribute to the world socially. Meaning, when they look at your marketing, they're thinking, man, if I buy this guy's stuff, I will be more successful in the world, out there in the world. I'll be more successful with other people, and I will successfully contribute more to the world. Those types of messaging patterns are something I'll be teaching you to incorporate in your products and programs. Now, at this point, you're probably like, holy crap, this is a lot of stuff, Brendan. Yeah, that's how I create world-class marketing. These are what I'm thinking about. And I'm telling you that now, so as we go in and create them at a tactical level, you always remember them. Because this makes your stuff stand out. This is how I'm going to grow your brand so fast. This is how I'm going to make you so much more money than you're making now by focusing on these things. Is this cool? Right? This is exciting. Okay, so I'll move on. I know I'm going on and on. Where are we? Oh, great. So, how does this program progress from here? My idea in this video was to give you a great overview of the tools, resources, content development, and marketing that will make you a world-class expert as we are rolling out these products and programs. So, a couple things. Let me give you the overview, then let me give you some homework. Where are we going next? In our next module, in the first official module of Total Product Blueprint, we're going to cover ebooks and books at a very tactical level. I'll give you the outlines of what to say to create an ebook and a book, and I'll also give you some examples, and I'll show you how to set up the marketing campaign for that. And I'll talk a lot about what are the hooks, the psychological hooks that make an ebook or a book valuable, so you can make sure those are part of all of your marketing, right? So it'll cover a lot of all those things I talked about at a general overview. Now we're going to, and we're going to bring them into these types of things. Module 2, we'll talk about teleseminars and audio programs. Module 3, we'll talk about webinars and continuity. And again, I'm going to show you how to do this in a very easy to follow, lucrative manner. Module 4, speeches, seminars, live events. Module 5, online DVD home study courses. So online courses, like you're watching an online course right now, right here in this Kajabi area. You paid money and invested your time and effort to join this online course called Total Product Blueprint. I'm going to teach you how to do that same thing. Matter of fact, I'm going to teach you how we did it with Total Product Blueprint. I'll give you the sales videos. I'll give you all the pre-launch stuff so you can see how to set it up. But I'll also teach you how everyone else is doing it and how you can too. DVD home study courses, if you're going to ship something to their house, again, using Kunaki or Disc.com, referring back to what we did earlier. Module 6, coaching and masterminds. And Module 7 is brand new. I just added it because somebody asked. If you didn't see it, for Total Product Blueprint, we did like a 5-hour live webcast right here from the studio. How do you set up live webcasts? You can do a live webcast with a camera like we use, or you can do it from your computer through the little camera that you have installed in your computer already. I'm going to show you how to do live webcasts. I think they are kind of the future of our industry, at least for those who succeed at the top 1%. Not everyone's going to do everything I teach, but the ones who do most of what I teach will really, really succeed. So that's where we're heading in this course. I want to leave you with a couple ideas. First, some homework. I know this was a lot to throw at you. All I want you to do in the end of this video right now is, after you've watched it, I want you to sit down with a blank piece of paper, okay? Just sit down with a blank piece of paper, and what I want you to do is draw out your framework. If someone had to do 4 things to be successful in one area that you want to teach about. So you take your topic, right, and you know your audience. What would they have to do to become more happy in that area? I mean, part of this is obviously assuming you know a little bit about what you want to teach and to who. If you're not there yet, don't worry. I sent you my book, The Millionaire Messenger, and there's also a new video that you can check in the bonus section here about the 10 things, the way this whole expert industry works. But at some point, you've got to decide, what's your topic going to be? And your topic can be as broad or as narrow as you want it to be. Go and feel freedom there. Maybe you just got divorced and you decided, I'm going to teach people how to get through a divorce without killing each other. Okay, that can be your topic. Well, what would they need to do to get to the happy end, right? Or maybe you're going to teach people how to have better health. Okay, what are the 4 to 7 things they should focus on? So I want you to focus on 4 to 7 things. I want you to come up with directives. Okay, I'll just call it D. Directives to get there. So again, action words, right? Do this, don't do that. Seek this, try that. Directives with a verb to get there, right? So for example, with Total Product Blueprint, if I was going to do all of Total Product Blueprint to get to here, here's how I would do it. I would say, okay, step 1 directive that we would focus on. Step 1 directive, as an example, is choose your topic and your audience. Okay. Step 2, and I'd teach a whole course on how to do that, right? And again, all it is just stories and strategies. Okay. Step 2, I would say, okay, put your products and programs together. So I teach how to create products and programs. Step 3, how to create your website and market those products. Step 4, or I would not say how to, I'd say step 1, choose your topic and your audience. Step 2, create products and programs for sale. Step 3, put products and programs up online for sale. Step 4, market products and programs, right? And then I can just break them down with stories and examples and strategies for how to do all of that, okay? Now, again, I'm not asking you to create an entire course. So if you're overwhelmed at this point, that's your own dang fault, right? All I'm asking you to do is draw 4 to 7 boxes and think about what would it take for them to get there. That's all. Because, you know, as we move into the next thing, don't worry, I'm going to give you more detailed outlines of what to do. I want you to start thinking about your audience and your topic, because I can't do that for you, right? All I want you to do is, what is the topic you want to teach, and what would it take for someone to be successful in that area? That's all. And just draw, I want you to draw it on a piece of paper and start thinking it out visually like that. Don't worry, there's no right way or wrong way to do this. It's just for you to begin scripting out and thinking about what you will be teaching. So I hope that serves you. Again, you're going to just draw on a piece of paper 4 to 7 directives to get them to happiness. And don't worry, those don't have to end up being your product. This doesn't have to be a full thing. Just start the process of thinking through it for me now, and that will really, truly serve you. So I hope this video has served you in thinking about content, in thinking about marketing. We will obviously, as we move through this course, do lots more of detail in the ebooks and books and everything else. For now, I want to give you a good overview. We'll have our first coaching call coming up, and as always, I'll be sending that out to you where you can ask me any questions. In the meantime, I encourage you to post your thoughts or your question or your comments below this video. Tell me what you thought about it, and just do this one simple activity, because it will really help you speed up as we go into ebooks and books and we get to a super granular tactical level, including showing you how do you set up your shopping cart to accept money, how do you set up your web pages, what do you need to say and not say. So we're really going to go more and more advanced. If at this point you have any questions, post them below. But here's what I want to encourage you. Just again, as I said at the beginning, trust. Trust in me, trust in this process. We're going to make this easy for you, okay? Trust in your ability to serve the world. I'll take care of the rest here on out, and make sure you put it into products and programs that truly serve you. Start thinking through your content now at a big level. It will really help you go faster as we go through. You're going to have lots of questions right now. That's good. We're going to take all those questions and we'll narrow them down into tactical things. Questions are good. Look, the only way we advance in the world is when we go out in the world and we're like, oh, I wonder how that works. And we look at it and we learn and we listen and we try. This program is about you trying. You won't get everything right in the first time, but you will succeed as we go through. Trust in the process. I look forward to seeing you next time. Start thinking of yourself in a new way. today, all this week, for the rest of your life, when you walk up to a group of people, realize that in that moment, you have the chance to be someone who inspires them. I want you to engage your emotions more in your life. I want you to inspire more people around you and start thinking of yourself as, quote unquote, the expert or the guru. Start thinking of yourself as a leader who can serve other people. You can walk into any group and make them feel better just because you showed up. Start living your life that way. And your products and your programs will teach you the outline, the marketing. It will take care of yourself if you can inject a new level of energy, passion, and commitment into your life. This is your time. This program will teach you exactly how to create those products and programs. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, go out every single day of your life, live fully, love openly, and make a difference today.